This is Patricia and Tony with Pasco Tampa Vibes, States Realty, and we're here with Nicole Trailer, which is a self-care coach and transformation guide. And could you tell us a little bit about that? And thanks for being here, Nicole.
Thank you both for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, I am a transformation guide, and really what that is I help people go through a transformation. And I chose the word guide for that because it really is a situation where, like, when you're going on a hike and you want someone to go with you because it's a rainforest and you've never been there, and they come with you, and sometimes they're guiding you along. They're like, hey, this is the path. You wanted to see the waterfall. We're going to go this way. Sometimes they're coaching you. You got to do this climb, hold on here. Sometimes they're motivating you. You got this, keep going. You want to see the waterfall. That's your goal.
Yeah.
We're going to get
Right.
there. And then sometimes they're giving you accountability. It's hey, we're here together. We said we were going to finish. Let's go. Like I'm still here with you. And then you get to that waterfall, and they're there with you to admire it. That you've made it to your goal for that
Yeah.
day.
Goal accomplished, right?
Yes, and so that's how I see myself with people, is really helping them through that transformation and all of those steps. I am a self-care coach because I really believe that self-care and our own
Mm-hmm.
personal transformations and journey are the thing that is the most important, is taking care of ourselves. So when we are good, we can accomplish whatever the goal is that we're working on.
Sure. It kind of goes back to the oxygen mask on an airplane, right? Like you got to take care of yourself first before helping the others.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. No, I know. Sorry, Tony. What was that?
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's just something that a lot of people we everyone gets just so busy in life, and I think self care is out the window. Really, it's like I've got this, and this to do, and kind of not worry about yourself. So
Mhm.
I always hear you when I see your content. I'm like, okay, I know. You
Yeah, I mean, we grew up in a culture where it almost feels kind of selfish to take time
Mm,
for ourselves and to
sure.
just, like, why are you doing this? It's just for me. It's not for the family. It's not for the company. It's not for the community. It's just for me. It feels
Uh-huh.
like a selfish thing. And it is a selfish thing. And I like to remind people that being selfish is not inherently harmful to anyone else. It's just saying that you are taking care of yourself. You mentioned the airplane mask analogy. The other analogy
Well,
we hear so much is about filling up your cup. And what I like
yes.
to tell people is a lot of times we feel like, oh, we're filling up our cup so then we can pour it into the community, into the business, into the family. But really what the goal is that your cup is so full that it's overflowing. So
Well,
everybody's getting that goodness, that magic that you've got, but you don't have to do anything. You don't have
it's
to
not
pour.
draining. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to take
Mhm.
away from you because you're filling yourself up. You're so full, it's overflowing. It's just gonna flow to
Mhm.
everybody else and everything else in your life, and it doesn't have to be this, "I'm giving some of what I've got to help you." It's just, I've got
Mhm.
so much because I'm taking care of me that it's just overflowing.
And
Yeah.
abundance.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
nice.
So, do you find your clients have that issue? Like, what are some common challenges that they face with that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I feel like
Mhm.
there are quite a few things. So some people feel disconnected. So disconnected from loved ones. A lot of times, that's where we get misunderstandings and frustrations. That
Mhm.
communication is off, and sometimes because it's with other people, we think like I've got to fix something, with them, and we can't change other people. We can
Mhm.
only change on ourselves. So you can strengthen your relationships by understanding your needs, by setting healthy boundaries. A lot of times, clients, after they work with me, they're more pleasant. Not well, pleasant is one thing, but I was going to say present.
More chill. They're a little more chill.
Yes, absolutely. They're more patient. They're able to more deeply connect with other people because they have that connection with themselves. And like I said, boundaries a lot of times is a big one with that. There's a beautiful quote by Prentice Hemphill that says, "Boundaries are the distance in which I can love myself and love you at the same time." And
Mhm.
that's really what it is. So sometimes setting a boundary can feel hard. It can feel like a challenge. It can feel like, oh, I'm not going to do this thing my brother wants me to do. But to still love your brother and still love yourself, sometimes you got to say, you know what, I can't do this showing today. You got to take this one, or we just can't do this thing because I have this other plan. And whether that other plan is sitting on the couch or spending time with the kids, it doesn't matter. I've
Right.
got a plan, and I can't do the thing today. And I know that that's difficult because it's been difficult for me. That's my journey, and that's why I love helping and working with people on this.
Uh-huh.
But aside from improved relationships, you get more free time and more energy when you're filling yourself up. The best way to fill yourself up, the best self-care ever is getting good sleep. And,
Yeah.
we feel like sleep is taking away. I need to stay up and do this thing or work on this project or just scroll because this is fun and I don't have time to do it during the day. But when we really get that good rest, that core self-care is that sleep, you actually end up with more free time and more energy during the day because you're not dragging out all these tasks and things you're doing all day long because you actually
Uh-huh.
have the energy and the focus to do them and get them done.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very nice. Do you have any, I guess, self-care rituals that you can tell us about that would help someone kind to navigate this world?
So for me, you can see right now I'm outside.
Yeah.
I love being outside. Our earth has a very grounding energy. So even putting your feet in the grass is amazing, but even if you're just out here, it just makes everything flow better with your body, with your mind. So that is the key thing, and it's free. And generally
It's
anybody
just
can
the
Yeah.
do it.
sun. The sun is energizing, right?
Oh,
So just
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely, and
Yeah, I
I
like
always
it
remind
too.
people that most things that you can do inside, you can do outside. So,
Sure. All that
for free,
scrolling, right?
even the scrolling,
Yeah.
if you gotta scroll, at least do it outside in nature.
Sure.
But working, eating dinner, all these things we forget. We buy these beautiful patio sets and only use them when people are coming over for barbecues. But
Right.
you could eat out on the patio every night. And I don't even have a cute patio set. This is literally a folding table that I'm on right now. But
Yeah.
it's remembering that we have this beautiful thing,
Earth.
planet Earth, here for us
Yeah.
all the time for free. So aside from that, the other thing that I really practice on is my spiritual self-care, which when I mention spiritual self-care, I'm just talking about connecting to whatever power that you know is greater than you and taking time to be reflective, to go into your internal power. So yoga, meditation, Reiki, journaling. I mean, these are all practices that I use, but again, most of them free. My yoga is done from YouTube videos. um, but it's a restorative thing that I give to myself every day, and that connection. I try to do it at the beginning of every day. I'm not going to pretend that it happens every day, but at least 4 or 5 times a week, that's how I start my morning. Is out here with this fresh morning light, really connecting to myself and a higher power.
Now I think, for someone to kind of start for the first time may be overwhelming because it's not your normal every day, right?
Yes.
So I guess if you were to pick one, okay, yeah, go outside. I hear that, but is it journaling maybe like a first step, or is there such thing as a first step?
Yes, there definitely is a first step. And I just
Mhm.
say it is 5 minutes to yourself,
Mhm.
doing whatever is restorative for you, whatever feels good. If picking up a pen and journaling feels like a lot, don't do it. If it feels like, oh, I can write a few sentences, do it. And then it might change day to day. People
Yeah.
hear meditation and they think, oh my gosh, I don't know how to meditate. Every time I meditate, I'm thinking about my grocery list. Like, how do I do this? Meditation can be as simple as sitting with no agenda, looking at the clouds. I'm gonna always take you outside if I can. So going
Yes.
outside, sitting in a chair, you don't need anything. Just look up at the clouds, follow the birds as they go across the sky, notice the trees, the houses, just noticing things around you. But it's just 5 minutes with no agenda except for just connecting with yourself a little bit more. So you don't need a book for that. You don't need any special thing. It can be as simple as literally going outside. You can do it inside as well. If there
Sure.
is a reason you can't go outside. But and just sitting, like no phone, no computer, no TV, not I'm trying to talk to someone, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm
Just
just
being. Yeah.
being.
Mhm. Really nice. And I think, for anyone that follows you too, I think, we'll tag you, of course, but it's very inspiring on what you do every day. So, your day on the beach or whatever it is, it's just that little like, oh, I can, I'm not that far, or I can go down there or down to a trail or something. So it's just changing that environment too can change that whole mood, right? So,
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, going to the beach, that's my favorite local spot. I think you guys were going to ask me that, so I'll
Yeah,
answer
that
now.
was
Sorry, Tony, I took your line.
That's all right. That's good
all
to
good.
know. That's good to know.
But that really is, I was racking my brain and I was like, where? And it's the beach. And I, for a long time, would only go on special occasions. And, we're in Wesley Chapel. So going to the beach, was about an hour, a little further, depending on which one you're
Yeah.
going to. But for me now, I realize it is so worth it. I did this exercise in the summer. Well, actually, I started in April, and I tried to go to the beach every week. And I did it for about 12 weeks. And sometimes
Wow.
the closest beach I could get to with my time was Cypress Point Park, which is down near the airport,
Okay.
which is, it's not my favorite beach, but it is sand, it is water,
Right.
it meets
Moving water. Yeah.
the basic criteria. So, it was a fun little challenge, and it was, it was something that was good for me, but it was, hey, can I get to the beach every week? Is this possible? And, I didn't talk about this, but one of the things I really focus on with people is manifesting the life that you want. So I put out this intention that I want to go to the beach every week. Do you know how many opportunities came to me to go to the beach, including like overnight stays that I didn't have to pay for, with family
Nice.
members, and, people inviting me to things that, are at the beach. And it was like, okay, the universe was like, yeah, the beach is a good goal. We'll help you get there. So it was really beautiful. And that definitely is my favorite place to be in this area.
Nice. And so you mentioned you're in Wesley Chapel, so that's Pasco County. We've got a lot of clients moving specifically even to that area. So that's a good measure of how far is the beach, right? So
Yeah.
out of the hour-long beaches, do you have a favorite that you always go to, or?
Oh, I love Indian Shores. It is a
Yes.
very quiet beach area. So if you want, there's not a lot of restaurants. There's nothing on the beach. It is very chill, and for the most part, you can always find parking. The city has a parking lot right across the street.
Yeah.
But for a no frills, I'm just going for the sand and the ocean. It is my favorite
Your
beach.
favorite. Yeah, it is beautiful there.
That's awesome.
Okay. And then, yeah, so also, you make a lot of video content for your business and for your clientels. And what piece of advice would you have to, any business owner that realizes that social media marketing is kind of where it's at right now?
Sure.
And what advice would you have them to kind of encourage to start making videos? The impact that it may have had on your business.
Well, my number one tip in getting started would be just to start. Like, it's going to feel weird. You're probably actually gonna suck a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. But that's just like with anything. It's like, just think about the baby learning to walk. They're gonna fall on their butt, they're gonna fall on their face, they're gonna wobble, they're gonna do all those things, but then eventually, we're up and we're running, we're adults. And I think it's the same way when we're starting anything new, but a lot of times with video, it can feel very intimidating because it's out there and everybody can see it. But everybody's been at that starting spot. So my biggest thing is just to start. But I definitely know for me and my business and for businesses that I interact with online, when I see the person behind the business, it means so much more. Like, you can connect to a human
Sure.
rather than just these products or, just these pictures. There's a person that you can connect with. And I feel like that's how you can find your best clients, because they're going to match up with your energy. They're going to see who you are and realize, yes, that's the right realtor for me. Yes, that's the right party planner for me, whatever it may
Yes.
be, because they vibe with me, and everyone's not, and that's okay. But I think that's how you find your people and how they find you.
Yeah,
For
these
sure.
businesses are
People
such
work with
person to
people.
person. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People promote people. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, I
We really
appreciate your
appreciate it.
time and all this great information, and it makes you think. It makes you to pause really and think on life and how fast it goes and where you need to take that time for yourself,
And recharge
Thank
yourself.
you.
Yeah, appreciate it all.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.